The fall 17 season is in the books. We made it through 8 weeks of the regular season. We're going to take a week off, and the playoffs start on the 29th. We have those playoff seeds for you. But let's get to the Week 8 games that just wrapped up here at Wakefield Hills. I'm Joey Zacco with the guys. Not even going to try to get their names. You should know them by now. We are presented by CrossNet Game once again. CrossNetGame.com. The link below this video. Code
Legacy.
He knows. LEGACY, $20 off. It's Thanksgiving. That means the holidays are here. It's a great gift. You can give a gift that they think is one price and get $20 off. What's better than that? You're welcome, Code Legacy. Let's start with the first overtime game in Rhode Island Legacy League's history. That's a nice Jeopardy stat for you guys. What team won the first ever overtime game? Halfway Crooks. I'll help you. Clearly, they're not ready for my witty questions. So, first overtime game goes to the Halfway Crooks. They beat the Werewolves. I don't know the final score. It was really if the Halfway Crooks won, they get the 3 seed, and now the Werewolves are the 4. We'll get to who they play on the 29th in the playoffs in a second. The 2 teams with the bye, the Alliance and Boom Shakalaka, respectively, they already had the bye locked up. So, it was really for that 3 seed. Overtime game. We had free throw shooting go awry. We had another terrible first half for the Halfway Crooks. We had a lot of things that we've talked a lot about reappear in Week 8. But, yeah, what'd you see? And then overtime's tough. 2 minutes. Everyone's already in the bonus, so every foul is 2 free throws. That's the point. We're trying to get out of here. Yeah. But overtime is fluky in and of itself. But what'd you see really in regulation, first half to second half, between those 2 teams?
It was a physical game. I mean, 3 players fouled out, 2 for Werewolves and then 1 for you guys. And free throw shooting for the Werewolves really killed them. Heston missed a few down the stretch, and in total they shot 3 for 17 from the line, so I think that really killed them.
Yeah, and I thought Dylan Lincoln really lifted you guys because nobody really had like any consistent offense going throughout the entire game. He seemed to carry you guys the entire way. And when he was talking about a lot of physicality, I noticed Dylan Lincoln and Heston were really getting into it. Like it was getting pretty heated between both teams.
I'm going to cut you off. I think the thing that Dylan had maybe not even a size advantage, more of a speed at that size advantage. And that was one of the things we found early. He figured out early. He was a little mad for taking the tech for not having the jersey. Did I make up for it yet? It's like, yeah, man. But I think that was part of the key with his matchup. He had the size, the speed at that size advantage. That kind of whoever they put on him was either too small or not able to keep up, laterally with him.
I mean, I think they pretty much said it all. You guys started slow. They could have started up 2-0 because he forgot his jersey, but then even like to start the game, they were already missing free throws and they couldn't hit at the end either. So
yeah, I think Heston finished 2 of 12 too.
Yeah.
So like he got to the line a good amount.
Oh, from the free throw.
Yeah, from the free throw line.
Yeah, we talked about that like every week too. How they're like they're the worst free throw shooting team in the league. So
it just comes back to bite them.
Yeah, we're gonna go more on this game. Like I said, I think at one point this season, free throw shooting, like the league average from all of our seasons on the lower rim, is like around 65%, and it's just because you're standing there and it looks funky, like you're the right distance, but it looks closer. Like, do I shoot? It's just weird. And so it's funny that a lot of teams are kind of, I think, around that mark. I think we touched a lot on the second half. Let's go into that closing of the game in overtime. They hit some big threes. What'd you see down the stretch as we get ready for Werewolves, Skyhookers, and Halfway Crooks big baller brand? Let's focus on that fourth quarter run. Anything else you want to chime in?
I just thought you guys were working the ball a lot better than you were in the first half. Like you guys were still moving the ball around, but like you rushed shots. You took first decent open look. But you guys really worked for open looks and got inside and controlled the paint.
That's a better question. First half to second half, what changed? Because I think that was pretty evident. That third quarter kind of flipped momentum. So what did you guys see first half to second half?
One of the things I noticed was Jared Hansen was driving a lot in the first half and trying to make contact, but the refs were letting a lot of things go tonight. They were letting you guys be a lot more physical.
Both ways.
So I think, more towards the end of the game, I feel like you guys weren't trying to make the contact, more trying to move the ball around, hit outside shots, and just playing good defense.
I mean, when you make shots, right? That's kind of, sometimes it's simple as that.
Yeah.
The Werewolves were making their threes and kind of taking advantage of defensive lapses. And then I think we made some shots in the second half. Anything first half to second half?
Well, Lincoln started off strong. He had 18 or 20 at the half, and then he ended up finishing with 30. Ferranti was just off the whole game, which I think if he was on, it would have been a much different game. But, just free throw shooting, I think, because you guys went to the line 27 times, I think. So just that 13 extra free throw shots, you guys hit a lot more. So although you missed about the same amount of free throw shots, you got to the line more, which I think won you the game.
Okay, I was going to ask, and then you could say what you were going to say. So the difference was 13 free throws, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone likes to sometimes look at that as a refereeing something. A good chunk of those 13 were either at the end of regulation when we had a lead and they were fouling, or in overtime with the same situation, right? So not counting the we have to foul because we're losing free throws. I think it was a lot closer of the attempts kind of in the game. I think that's fair to say.
But I thought Brad Allen with the Werewolves did a great job on Ferranti, especially like in the low post. Like he tried to bully him down, and he'd just eat it and wall up. So we'd have to take really like contested shots, and he'd come up short on a lot of his like jump hooks and stuff like that in the lane.
For sure. Anything else? I think we did that game justice. The first overtime game had a chance, had 2 shots to win it in regulation. And I think the first one,
Ferranti airballed,
then went out of bounds, and then we inbounded, and it was like a corner 3, right?
Falling away, yeah.
So at least we didn't mess that up. It's like hold for the last shot.
Lincoln had an opportunity too, like right at the very end too. Yeah,
It's like try to sell the foul though, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Overtime is fun. Overtime is always fun. Boom Shakalaka, who I mentioned, is already locked into the 2 seed, and Big Baller Brand, winless, unfortunately stuck in that last spot. Boom Shakalaka won, only 5 guys, no Mark Belleville, no Trevor D'Amico, right? Jeremy was here. What from that game can you guys take? I think Boom Shakalaka, their role players showed they have it, right? They're going to need that against the Alliance down the road if they get there. But I don't know if they get there. We'll cross that bridge. We've got a couple weeks for that. But the role players showed Lucas has been playing really well.
Yeah.
And Matt Kamara found his stroke in the second half as he was yelling, running down the court.
Yeah, I would say Lucas, like last couple of weeks, he's really been heating up from downtown, but he was hitting from outside today, and he was like really pushing the break and making a lot of plays for his teammates. So I think that shows like the versatility they have when they do have D'Amico and
Yeah. One thing I really noticed was it seemed like every time Brett Cody, I think, really wanted that game tonight, and it seemed like every time he made a big play, it was like Lucas Martin would come back and hit a 3 of his own. It was just like that's what I really noticed, is that they were really able to answer everything that Big Baller threw at them.
Yeah, Big Baller put up 81, but I think their flaw is that zone defense they like to play against a team like Boom Shakalaka. I mean, Lucas Martin hit like 5 threes within like space of a few minutes, and he had 3 in a row, and then obviously Matt Kamara is a good 3-point shooter too. So I think that the zone defense really didn't work for them, and the bigs worked well too for Boom between Jeremy and Ryan.
Agreed. Let's get to the last one quickly. Like I mentioned, the Alliance and the Skyhookers went the way we thought, 160 something, right?
156.
Excuse me. 156 to 75. And the Skyhookers only had 3 players, so it's bad enough. I mentioned 4 on 4.
yeah.
3 on 4, even harder. Even if one of you just wants to, anything. I mean, it was unfortunately sloppy sloppy in the sense of out of hand and just run and gun, and because of the 3 on 4 disadvantage.
Yeah, I feel like Skyhookers never really tried. Like in the beginning, once they saw that it was right. Well, 4 until halftime, I think. Or did Victor come at the
No,
end?
Ryan came like
Even the
halfway
second
through the
quarter.
second.
Right, so 4 on
He
3.
didn't even check in for a while.
Yeah. If you check the snap highlights too, like his very first play of the game was coming out of halftime. He like had a steal and went down for a dunk. So it's like, so now they're already down a player, and now they have fresh legs too, so it got out of hand.
Yep, I think that's good. We don't need to do.
Yeah.
I'm glad we spent the time on the overtime game, and you have your fun Jeopardy answer. The first overtime winner.
Halfway group.
There you go. We almost messed it up again. All right, so as I mentioned, the Alliance and Big Baller Brand 1 and 2. They'll get a bye. They'll be off 2. What did I say?
Said Big Baller Brand.
Big Baller Brand.
Ooh, that's because I'm ready. That's a Freudian slip because I'm getting there. That's who we play. Sorry, you're right. The Alliance and Boom Shakalaka. Let's get it right. It's also because Ryan Ronsley in the interview is talking crap, and then of course I missed the dunk. Just in like the game was like stopped for a minute. I go up to dunk and miss it, and Boom Shakalaka sitting right here heckling me the next 5 minutes. So they're on my mind. They're already in my head. They're already in my head. Sorry.
Not
Careful
good.
what you will.
The Alliance and Boom Shakalaka 1 and 2. They'll get a bye to December 5th or 6th that week. They get a bye to the semis, the Final 4. 3 seed Halfway Crooks, 4 seed Werewolves, 5 Skyhookers, 6 Big Baller Brand. 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5, 3 Halfway Crooks, and 6 Big Baller Brand. 7 o'clock on November 29th right here. 8 o'clock, the 4-5. I think it's the grudge match too, right? They split, Werewolves and Skyhookers.
Yeah.
They split.
Yeah.
So what are you looking for from, let's focus on those 2 matchups in the quarterfinals. 3-6, 4-5 seeds. What are you guys looking from either of those matchups?
From Werewolves Skyhookers, I think Skyhookers obviously like coming off this embarrassing kind of defeat, they're gonna want to show that this isn't who they are and that this one loss doesn't define them. From the Werewolves, I hope somehow they can try and fix their free throw shooting. I don't know if I can watch another game of them hitting like 12%.
That'll be fun. I'm excited for Werewolf Skyhookers.
That's if the Skyhookers whole team shows up.
Right, and they were saying like I told them they have 2 weeks to get people here, so kidnap them, whatever you got to do, get them here on the 29th for your playoff game.
Yeah, and then what's the other matchup? Halfway Crooks is playing Big Baller.
Yep.
Can I pass?
Sure. Yeah, even if you want to touch on just one, because we are long. But
okay.
Either of those
that
matchups.
Werewolves game, I'm really looking forward to seeing if Heston guards O'Donnell the entire game, because everyone knows he's their main scorer, and you kind of have to, as he goes, they go. So they're going to need to lock in on him.
And how that affects him on the other end.
Yeah.
Right. Not that no one's superhuman, so it will affect him, but how much?
Yeah, because carrying the offensive load and guarding the best player
That's
gets taxing.
Not that he can't do it.
Game. No,
he can't.
Yeah.
We'll
find out.
We'll find out. That's right.
And then just to touch on Halfway and Big Baller, since you guys touched on that again.
You guys took the good game.
I think if you guys stop Brett Cody, you'll have a good chance. But I don't know. Never rule out Big Baller. I mean, they came out. I scored 81 tonight against Boom. You guys have lost by a lot worse than Boom. So, you know what? I wouldn't count them out.
And I'm looking to see if you guys are going to get off to a good start this week.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of weeks in a row that you haven't been able to.
I was going to say we played them. We played them twice.
Yeah.
I don't know, but the first time we played Big Baller Brand, like they had a lead. They had a lead in the second quarter.
You guys were shooting free throws at the end, I believe.
Yeah.
And then, you got to come to play. You know, you can never overlook anybody. Good.
Especially Brett Cody over there.
I know.
Yeah, he's going to want to get that first
I know
win.
Brett Cody very well. Yeah. Imagine first win in the playoffs. That'll be a
Are you
record.
going to be guarding him?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Oh God, he's dropping 16.
We can set the over-under in the previews. So we have top plays. No power rankings anymore. Those are done because we have playoff seeding stuff. We'll have a bracket up on Instagram, hopefully by the weekend, because we have a full week. No games on the 22nd. We come back the 29th. We're going to preview every playoff matchup. Those first two games, we'll get previews of their own, so stay tuned for those. And then we'll preview the playoffs throughout. And All-Star is going to be December 13th, that Wednesday. We'll be releasing who made the All-Star team, who's MVP, all of our awards, offensive, defensive player of the year, all first team, and all defensive team. We got a whole bunch of stuff. So we'll be revealing those, and those will be going up on the site as well. So, regular season's in the books, guys. You did it. You survived. We all survived.
Flew by, honestly.
Yeah, 8 weeks in the books. We're going to take a week off, and we'll see you on the 29th for the first ever Legacy Leagues Rhode Island playoffs. 3-6, 4-5. We'll see you on the 29th. Thanks for watching.